water is up high this morning. The crows are lively. This broke through. This was a jam in the fall. By jam I mean beaver, muskrat I should say, was building up a nice dam. And it was impenetrable, like it was high too. There was a drop here about 6 feet or so. And trout were having a hard time getting up. But they still made it. I was still catching right over here. I was still catching with my children. I was still catching lots of trout. So were they. My son Josh actually caught one just over here on the other side. Just up the creek over here. He caught a really nice rainbow trout over there. It's up high, the water's mucky, but it's still pretty, you know. Still nice to look at, just watching the flow. A 20-minute walk, they say, is more powerful than any known antidepressant. 20-minute walk in nature. They actually studied this. Should look up the results. Pretty cool. I can attest to this. I've been on every antidepressant there is known to man. The beauty of God. God's creation has been the best form of antidepressant for me. In this spot right here is where my son caught. My son was standing right about there. I got it on video, him landing a really nice trout right here. I actually have another video of me landing a really nice rainbow trout in the middle of a hailstorm. There's Mr. Duck. They're both over there. I was just wondering, where's the missus? Oh, she's right there. They're both enjoying the morning quiet together. They're probably like, who is this guy? Who is this guy over here making all that noise? You know we're trying to take a bath. I might come back here when it's nice and clear and I have some extra roe I have saved from last year. I'm going to come down and feed the fish, because they don't get a lot of food down here, and this is a runoff stream, so, and there's all kinds of industrial development going on everywhere. Doesn't really matter where you go. Any stream like this, even though it supports wildlife, there's still so much runoff that it affects them, and it affects their ability to absorb nutrients. Even if they do eat something, they have anti-nutrients wrapped up in the stuff. You got microplastics, don't even get me started about microplastics. Oh my goodness. Last 25 years we've seen what was it, 25% decline in testosterone in males. They're blaming it on mostly microplastics, but I think it's a lot more than that. But if you look at the microplastics themselves, they're a classified obesogen, and it's a disruptor. When your body's trying to absorb nutrients, all those little microparticles, they get in the way. And your body doesn't recognize that. So when it's trying to heal itself, and you're taking in microplastics, and let me tell you, it's in everything. So you look at even just floss. Most people use a plastic floss. So most people drink bottled water. Just think of all the things in your life that are plastic. But when you come down here on a clear day, you can see garbage, and 90% of it's plastic. But I said don't get me started, and I kind of got myself started. So I'll stop about the plastics now. But just keep yourself safe and do your own research on microplastics. And like, goodness gracious, since the 1950s, there's been 40 to 50% decline in the average male of testosterone. Sort of makes you wonder about all this whole trans movement and the rising number of gays. And please don't jump on me. I am only looking to the facts. I'm looking at myself. I know that I had a bout with addiction, and opiates was a big deal to me. But when I was coming off of that stuff and my body was trying to heal, my hormones were really messed up. And I was using something called Kratom. It's a plant in the coffee family. It's from Indonesia. It has an active ingredient called mitragynine. Isn't that gorgeous? I'm gonna go up and take a look at that. Wasn't as pronounced before. So getting back, the Kratom has an active ingredient called mitragynine, and it replicates opioids in the receptors. So I was heavily addicted and pretty much screwed, and my life was not very good for a long time. I just jumped in with both feet. I said, you know what, this stuff can help me with my withdrawal symptoms. I jumped in. I said, if I don't make the decision to do this, because when you're doing research on psychosis, when it comes to any sort of heavy medication or heavy drug, the psychosis is what keeps you addicted for a long time. Good thing we have things like this that you can just get for free. I learned about Kratom from Chris Bell on Joe Rogan podcast, and you can do your own research and figure out if that's right for you, because there are some negative effects, just like any other, and one of them is that it's an estrogenic. So when you're coming off of hard drugs and you're trying to heal, an influx of estrogen is not helpful. I mean, it's good for you to tap into the feminine aspects of yourself, but at the same time, you need, as a male or as a female, depending on, your physiology, you need to have balanced hormones. And when you're on opiates for such a long time, your hormones become unbalanced. And you just don't feel right. And I didn't. But that's pretty much it for my discussion this morning, or rant, or whatever you'd like to call it. I just wanted to come down here and hear the water. Hopefully my conversation didn't take away from this beauty too much. But have a wonderful day. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, be thankful to be alive. When I wake up in the morning, I thank God for breathing, thank God for waking up, thank God for life. There were 3 thank yous right there, and I'm getting chills just saying that. And chills always bring yes bumps for me. Love and bless.